Let me take you back to middle school. Y'all can remember middle school, right? A time when I said I had 6 pair of Calvin Klein jeans. And you know how popular Calvin Klein jeans was back in the day. If you're my Gen X people, you will. 6, y'all. I had 1 pair. And that 1 pair was hanging on for dear life. When I say dear life, they was hanging on for dear life. Why did I feel that I had to lie about what I had just to fit in? This episode is going to talk about how we feel that we are not enough and how we feel that a lie, no matter how small or big, to fit in when we really need to learn how to be proud of ourselves for who we are and what we have. Let's talk. Okay, let me tell y'all how hard core and serious middle school drama is. You know, when you're hanging with your friends and you're sitting there, everybody's talking and talking about things, and everything always centers, well, back when I was in middle school, it always centered around clothes, shoes, what you have, what you did sometimes. But anyway, we were sitting talking about the things that were important in middle school, and clothes came up. And if anybody knows, back in the day in Gen X, we were talking about Brooke Shields, that was our hero, and Tatum O'Neal, and the facts of life, different stuff like that. So fast forward, we're talking, and it comes up about the Calvin Klein jeans. And some of my friends were talking about, their pairs they had and whatever. Child, why did I feel the need to have to say, oh yeah, I got 6 pair? 6. Now, back in the day, Calvin Klein jeans didn't cost near as probably what they cost now. I don't even know how much they cost now, but they were about $30, $35. But to a family of 6, $35 is a lot to be spending on one child for 1 pair of clothing. Hence to say, the 1 pair I did have, I believe it even came from a thrift store. I don't even remember, but all I know is I did not have 6 pair. But I felt like I had to say that I had 6 pair to fit in. What was that about? Because in middle school, you are trying to fit in. You are trying to impress your friends, to find your place, to be that person that people are want to be around and that they think highly of. But 6 pair, y'all, now that would have been okay if the story didn't get around to some of my home girlfriends that I grew up with, that I was growing up with. The people who I said it to, we just attended school together, hung out every so often in some classes. But the story got to my home girlfriends who knew me day in and day out. Spent the night at the house, that kind of thing. Hung out, we played in the hood, all those kind of things. So once the story got back to them, Lord, you already know the laughing, the what? She has who? She has what? Yes, you already know. The embarrassment, the shame, the calling out, because that's what you did in middle school. You called people out on things. You tried to elevate yourself or look better yourself by talking about what other people had or didn't have, the latest this, the latest that. So suffice it to say, yes, that is exactly what had happened. And when my girlfriends got it, child, the lies, the embarrassment, the shame, the sulking in the corner, the like, well, what I meant was, what had happened was, I meant to say I had 1 pair, not 6. But it was too late. It was already done. What the damage had been done, and the lie had been told. It was out there, and I had been called on it. And it wasn't that that was a bad thing. It's just that's what it was. But out of that embarrassment, I'm not sure because I was embarrassed more of the shame of not having the six pair or the embarrassment of not fitting in a place that I felt like I needed to fit in or needed to impress some people that were, in my mind, the people to be around or the way to be. Either way, I'm saying it was hard in middle school. It was um it was a time of trying to fit in and find your place. And really all I needed to focus on was being me, being me. So in middle school, when you're trying to find your place in the haves and the have not so much, it can be challenging and you have to learn to figure out how to be your own person in a way that doesn't necessarily fit what everybody else thinks you should be or how they think you should be. But when you learn this, it kind of sets the stage for growing into who you're going to be and learning how to be authentically you, no matter what you bring to the table or don't bring to the table. And a lot of times we lie not because we're such bad people, but we're trying to fit in and because we think we're not enough. And thinking we're not enough is taking away from who we really are. Got my notes here. So the lie got around, and that's just to say that when you are saying something or talking to people and they think you are this or that because that's what you said, and somebody who really knows you or knows your story comes out and says, no, they didn't have nothing growing up, or this, and that, whatever the situation may be, you have to realize that it's not a dig at you, it's just getting you to be your authentic self. So it will sting for a while. It'll sting. But once the sting is over, it's like a freeing because you're like, okay, this is who I am. This is who I am for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, for have or the have not so muches. This is who I am. And that's what we have to learn to embrace. The difference between being embarrassed because you lied or being embarrassed because you didn't think what you have is enough. That's sometimes we feel shame not because we lie, but because the truth felt too small to be loved. We didn't feel we can be loved for who we are. So we felt like we have to put on a persona to please other people, to fit in. Yes, did that. I did that. I own it. It happened. I've grown and I moved on. Belonging is more of when you embrace who you are, and fitting in is when you perform to be accepted. When you're able to embrace who you are able to freely move about in your life. You are able to accomplish things you want to accomplish without fear of feeling that you're not enough or that you didn't do enough or you don't have enough. You don't have to worry about that because you are who you are, how God made you, and that's good enough. That is good enough. And fitting in was when we feel like we have to perform or we have to be something that other people think we should be. And It's not part of our character. It's not our personality. It's not who we're made up to be. And it's not who God wants us to be. He made us all in a certain way. And that is who we have to be. That is all we can be. And when we try to be something else, that's when all the things start falling. All the dominoes start falling down. And we have to realize that I am enough exactly how God made me. And that's what I'm going to walk in: my truth, my authenticity, my enoughness. Is that a word? It is today. My worthiness, my value, all of the things that make you you. So can you think of a time in your life where you have tried to fit in or shrunk yourself down to fit in, or if you overinflated yourself, or, made yourself more than who you are just to be in the room or just to feel that you were a part of a group or a certain criteria that you needed to fit in? We have to know that belonging gives us peace, but performing is exhausting. We have to embrace our belonging because that's who we are. And we have to be proud. We have to be proud of who we are and what we've got. If it's not a lot, that's okay. Just like the song says, just be thankful. Just be thankful for what you got. Be thankful for who you are. Be thankful for how God made you and the different complexities of your life. Be grateful. Be thankful. And the jeans moment that I talked about in middle school, it's like there were 6 of us. So the sacrifices my mom had to make to clothe, feed, shelter, make sure we had everything we needed, all of that kind of stuff, that was a sacrifice that I just now see and that I saw when I became a mother. Because there's going to be times when you don't have all the things you need. You don't have all the money to be able to get this or all the things to be a part of this. But you can be you. You can be you. And that's the best you will ever be, is you, and not trying to pretend to be something else or to act like we have something that we don't have. You grow in that moment when you realize that. It's a growth because you are starting to own your own story. You are owning your authenticity, owning your worth, owning your value, owning who you are. And that's what other people see and will know and trust and feel like, okay, they're talking about something I can relate to, something I can relate to. There's power walking into a room and not needing to impress anybody. You just be yourself and show up. You don't have to worry about trying to be this or be that. Just be yourself. Show up in the room. Take up space as you. So, what can your Calvin Klein jeans moment say for you? And it may not be Calvin Klein jeans. It was for me. But what is your moment that you're still carrying that you maybe need to release and know that you are good enough and know that you are enough and that you are valued and that you are worthy? What things did you lie about to fit in? What things did you shrink from or shrink down because you needed to be accepted? And what truth can you stand on today? What truth can you stand on today? Because I'm telling you, fitting in, trying to fit in as someone else is way more expensive than the cost of any jeans. And all we can be is ourself. And if we keep that shame and we keep that embarrassment in silence and we don't talk about it, it'll shrink our truth. It will shrink who we are. It takes away from our authenticity. We have to know and believe that we are enough and our story is enough. My story is enough. Your story is enough. Our story is enough because we lived it. It's who we are, but it doesn't necessarily define where you're going. Now, the truths you learn from it, we should apply them to our life as we grow and as we do things. But that doesn't mean that we have to stay stuck in whatever it is that we've come from. So I'm just trying to tell you that the girl who lied about the jeans and the woman that still plays small, this is your time to stop fronting and start blooming, start flourishing, start being who you are, because that's who the world is waiting on. That's who they need to see. That's who they need to hear from. That is who is going to help someone else break free from whatever it is they may be going through. So if this in any way touched you, any way helped resonate with a story you have inside of you that needs to come out, or anyway gives you the strength to face some things that you may have been putting towards the back, if this helps you in any way, share the episode, make some comments, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be doing more real talk, real situations, real things that are going on in life that we are trying to overcome, that we are trying to learning to embrace, because that's what we have to do. Sorry, I dropped my paper. We have to learn to embrace our true selves and put forth our best foot forward so we can walk in our power. We have to learn to walk in our power. So tag somebody, put their name in the comments, comment if this resonated with you, and let me know what you're going to do to start releasing any shame or guilt or embarrassment that you've had and that you feel may be holding you back. Share that story so somebody else can be empowered to move forward in their story, move forward in their life, and accomplish the things that God has put in place for them. This is the time to be free, people, and that's what we're going to do. So join me next time on Colbert Kean Conversations, where we keep the conversations real.